I live in a city that is on constant lookout for its identity. I live in a body forever changing. I live in a language belonging in the same way to me and any politician. I live in a house built by my own hands. The city reveals its streets to the ever-increasing population of tourists. The growth is exponential. From one tourist seeing a ferry sign and taking a wrong turn from the road to Dalmatia, we jump to two, making it impossible for tourist board to go on collective annual leave as before.
Carrying myself just as city carries people. They come and come. At first, there are no people. Children chase after balls, growing up close to tears in front of kindergartens of mom's earthquakes caused by phantomically amputated limbs. Then suddenly they appear, carried by their beards, mascaras, gouts, hemorrhoids, granulomas, bunions, cataracts, water on the knees. People come and come. Their souls boundless free spaces skirted by decomposing bodies. Yet, who can say that truth ever comes out since the tongue is the most downplayed organ of sight?
My body is no longer in line with what my mind thinks my body should do. I'm 44. It is normal. I would like pathetic outbursts such as, I have become a slave to my body, or I have to move the world for my body to function properly, or I give up traveling when I realize what I have to pack or take with me just for my body to work, to slip through my fingers. Then, I rest in language.
I pack language in a rocket, again and again, 66 times in a row. A rocket is no bigger than I am, yet a million times deadlier. I put 66 rockets on my back, carrying them through dark forest. Each step measured by the letter of natural law. 66 rockets shrink my back. Ice on them enters into my bent backbone. When I approach a rocket launcher, I'm smaller than a water crystal, looking for my state of matter and measuring how much warmth there is in a simple fire. But I convert, and all of a sudden it is difficult to use a tongue that fed hungry children's mouth and blossomed in spring. As desperation tin opener always in spring, sun in a window could change the course of a game if only an invisible enemy had not been at the door. And when the house began to rearrange itself, desperation broke out of a quarantine, mutated into paralysis, and now raids as if nothing in this world is of no worth except for words that cannot be uttered.
From my street, which is a dead end, at least for cars, a road takes you towards forest, to the mills. I have never been there, but I plan to go. There are aliens there, not tourists. People sometimes call them migrants to avoid using refugees and stirring their own conscience. Dating from the 90s, we're all a migrant.
I stumble through forest. I am a migrant for whom land borders have no relevance. I want no passport. I need no euros, no cell phone. Spare pants if my bowels let go before the border. My forest is not dark and strange belly of a whale that digests dreams like brackish water police. Mad dogs and uniforms do not run after me and stumblingly fire their guns. No, I'm not that migrant. My migrations are exhausted by horizons in which your look is poured over ice cubes in a crystal glass. They are not existential. And I am slightly ashamed of them. Yet, if I exist only as an empty groove for your head on my shoulder, my migrations are heavy as a drop from your nose that time when you were leaving.
It is not just me, although it might look like that from time to time. My house, that is not quite completely mine, is in my city that is not mine. Actually, in my country that has never been mine. I have never felt proud of belonging to anything. That might be my problem. And it might be ecological.
I turn the ceiling upside down and walk, avoiding chandeliers. Light does not fall down in a straight line. Woods are distant plants accounting for only 10% of oxygen in gross national income. The rest comes from parliamentary corridors smelling of fried onions and righteous sweat. Meat chopped for lunch did not forget its bones. An excellent cornerstone for lungs of taxpayers losing the ground under their feet. Then I am a joke. Or so it seems to a cynical eye. I address my fears to clock's arrhythmia and wait. The best way to my heart is between the fourth and the fifth rib.
There is also a hostel in the house I built. The hostel has gone under this season as another silent victim of the virus. I want to buy that hostel, my next door neighbor. I want to buy my ruined next door neighbor because then I'm going to find out what it is and what it is made of. I will buy it in order to build it, just like I built the house that I wanted my whole life, in the city to which I came. In the street I have portrayed as nice ever since I saw it for the first time. The street not loved by the city, in which square meters are cheap yet beyond my reach until recently. Now, when all this is here, the only thing left is to get down to work. Zen and art of brick wall grunting. Take 1 scoop of white cement, 1 scoop of river sand or so-called base, mix in 1/5 of white tile glue and water until the mixture has consistency of thick whipped cream. Let it stabilize for 5 minutes. Take grout float and margin trowel and off you go. You save the money you do not have. You find a master like no other in a city in which houses are built for tourists only, but then again, there are no tourists. They just turned up, but the virus. Why would this master bother himself with bricks inside in a living room? Who would do it like that in times of Knauf? Metamorphosis. Home.
I have 2 sons, both drawn by rakes in a sandpit. Then I drew them chocolate smiles and little marmalade houses. My glance climbing up the rope as spinning on the cerebral cortex pin with an S that will replace the maps leading to that house across backbones of remembering gods. You damned ones! All those make-believe castles in the air, in the sky will be closed tomorrow. 25th chapter on accession to union of oblivion. And distance to be measured among us will be divided into all children's birthday parties, lighting candles as fuses on sweet bursting bombs.
When you build a house for yourself and all your people, you move entirely into language. You cannot get away from it.
I build a house, open its windows, Check foundations. Frequency of house in my house and where to hide is what interests me. When enemy attacks, how safe can you be, flag of heart? Open your true self. Check frequency of you in yourself. And think of your hiding place in which lungs you are no more. In which transparent bloodstream it flows behind the house, all made of stream that tears down foundations, undermines. Many a stream in that stream, a lot of earth in dark brick.